Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome to Beyond Classic Rock. Today, I've got an album reaction coming your way, man. A concept album reaction. And this is from the band King Diamond, and the album is called Conspiracy. So, I believe it's a continuation. And so, first off, before I pop this off, I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Marco, a national acrobat. Marco, thanks very much for the recommendation, man, and thanks for keeping my, how would I put it, my enthusiasm towards concept albums going. I appreciate that very much. I dig concept albums, man. You are a real talented mofo if you can deliver concept albums, and in this case of King Diamond, multiple concept albums. So that's fantastic. Marco says, "Hi, Wayne. I would like to recommend another King Diamond concept album, Conspiracy. It's the second and last part of the story that began with the album Them, which you listened to a little while ago. The album itself gives us a short intro. Once back inside the old house, Amon King watched his grandmother vanished by the words. Quote, I bet you're dying for a cup of tea, unquote. Not a trace did she leave behind. Nobody was to be found upstairs either. The cellar was empty. The entire house was empty. Only memories of long-gone friends were buried under thick dust that now covered the house. It had been 18 years since King was last in this house, waiting in his mother's bedroom to be taken away by Dr. Landau and the police. He spent 9 years in an asylum trying to get his mind back to normal, under the supervision of Dr. Landau. Then, finally released, he spent another 9 years in absolute solitude at a place unknown to us. Lie. In parentheses, it says lie. During this time, he never saw his mother. Now, 2 weeks have passed since King returned to the old house, which is actually his according to his grandmother's will, and we think it's time for him to contact us again, unquote. Okay, so that's the setup for Conspiracy, man. Oh yeah, and then there's an attachment to the album, 6 Feet Under. 6 Feet Under is from the album's Spider's Lullaby, and it's an alternate version, something like a cutscene from Conspiracy, and references from Them, telling what would have happened differently if King's mother and his sociopath therapist, Dr. Landau, had buried him alive in a glass coffin instead of cremation. It might be a nice addition right after the closing track, Cremation. Okay, yeah, we'll do that for sure, Marco. So let's hit this up, y'all. It's a concept album, so you definitely take in the musicianship, but at the same time, you gotta listen for the story as it unfolds. It's a different kind of mental exercise. It's not for everybody, but I dig this shit. So let's hit this up, man. Conspiracy, King Diamond. Let's go all the way through. Let's get it. Cheers to you. I see a movie unfolding, don't you? It's one person doing all the singing. That alone is really awesome. I've got to adjust this a bit, sorry. That's better. It really helps when you've got great musicianship telling a concept album story. It's the power of the sun. That's right, it was a dual lead guitar attack. That's powerful. imagine turning a movie series from Abigail, Ben, and Conspiracy? I would dig that shit. Even a book series. Poor King. Why would you want to go back and be haunted? I really love how it slows down and picks up. I think it simulates his moods.
Then let us make you an eternal deal. You will attend to the graves. You'll give us the house back and keep in mind that we'll only come here at night. So make the deal under the starry night, and Amon belongs to the night.
Amon is the house. it goes from thunderous to light and slow. Get a feel for what's going on in King's mind and his emotions. Can you imagine having so many spirits in your head, in your mind? Voices in your head? I couldn't imagine. Yes, sessions are conditional for his release, I guess. Living the life of a true vampire. Only sleeps only back. Great musicianship in that one. The drum roll's on point. I think he's dreaming. Now comes the start of a nightmare sequence. This reminds me of Dexter, you know, the Dark Passenger, and I guess his guardian angel is either his father or his sister. Same case here. Poor dude. One bad dream to another. Doctor single. And the doctor with the bad breath. So he did sleep overnight. give her mace or some sort of a protective charm. These guys are great musicians, man. That doctor's got a strong grip on his mom. guitar solos in this album is just on point. And they're switching up between guitars, I can tell. So King knows what's going on in his mind's eye. He sees the conspiracy and the collaboration. So they're gonna burn King alive.
So it's into the coffin, use the torch, and then we put the remains into his sister's grave. Right? Yes. Let it be done.
Smart, and they're covering it up. Poor King, going all the way back there, only to be betrayed and then cremated, burned alive. It's all coming from the mind of this evil doctor who wants his house. Even went as far as to marry his mother. hence the plot and the setting for the next concept album. Okay, so y'all, what a fantastic concept album, man. I tell you, King Diamond telling these incredible stories, you know, you just gotta dig it. A concept album takes a fantastic amount of creativity and the ability to tell a story in song. A long musical piece is really, to me, that takes some serious skills. And the music, the guitar solos, the musicianship, everything in the music also adds to the experience, the feeling of anxiety and confusion and anger. The music, the solos, all of that stuff reflects the mood of the story being told. I really dig it. These guys have mastered the concept album. But before we continue, as Marco instructed, let's check out 6 Feet Under. And that's a piece attached. And about 6 Feet Under, again, he says, it's from the album Spider's Lullaby. It's an alternate version, something like a cutscene from Conspiracy, and references from them telling what would have happened differently if King's mother and his doctor had not buried him alive instead of cremation. If they had buried him alive instead of cremation, it might be a nice addition right after the closing track. Yeah, so let's do that. 6 Feet Under. Let's get it.
I should have seen it coming.
Okay. 6 feet under. So what I'm getting from that is that in the end, he dies anyway, unless he can find a way to dig himself out or capture someone's attention before they're he's completely buried in the earth. I don't think so, though. The idea overall from this one and the last one is that he's going to come back and he's going to haunt them. So hence a continuation of the story. Fantastic, man. So let's do this. Let's call this the end of the reaction part, and let's come back and then let's keep the review part separate, just in case I have to do that for the benefit of YouTube. Okay, so I'll see you in the review. Okay, y'all, let's do a review, man, of this really excellent concept album and the continuing story of King and Amon the House. What a great movie series this would be, or even a book series, man. Somebody's got to do it. So, first, King Diamond. King Diamond is a Danish heavy metal band formed in '85 by vocalist King Diamond, guitarist Andy LaRocque and Michael Denner, bassist Timmy Hansen, and drummer Mickey D. Diamond, Denner, and Hansen had recently departed the group Merciful Fate and decided to form a new band under the King Diamond moniker, as it was already known from the Merciful Fate days. Since the band's inception, there have been over 15 musicians in and out of King Diamond, with the only two mainstays being Diamond and LaRocque. Their current lineup consists of Diamond, LaRocque, guitarist Mike Weed, drummer Matt Thompson, and bassist Pontus Egbert. King Diamond has released a total of 12 studio albums. Most of them are concept albums, 2 live albums, 2 extended plays, 5 compilations, and 5 singles. Their first album, Fatal Portrait, was released in '86, followed by a year later by the band's first concept album, Abigail, in '87. Abigail was excellent. 3 more albums were released before the band was put on hold in the early '90s when King Diamond reunited with his former outfit, Merciful Fate. Diamond reformed the band in '94 and would balance recording and touring with both Merciful Fate and his eponymous band throughout the '90s. Busy man. King Diamond has remained active since then, despite having not released a studio album since 2007's Give Me Your Soul, Please. So, Conspiracy. Conspiracy is the 4th studio album by Danish heavy metal band King Diamond, and the second part of a story that began on the album Them. Conspiracy was released in '89 and is the last album to feature drummer Mickey D, who left the group but recorded the album as a session member. The song Cremation appears in the 2009 video game Brutal Legend. Yeah, I guess that song can be applied in many different areas. And there's a long album review here. I guess an overall synopsis by AllMusic. Edward Ravidavia of AllMusic says, "The old performer's adage about not overstaying one's welcome proved itself timeless and infinitely applicable when King Diamond decided to follow a pair of stunningly successful musical horror stories, '87's Abigail and '88's Them, with a third decidedly flawed episode, '89's Conspiracy." Flawed. Okay, well, we'll read on and see what he means. Actually, the King's biggest mistake may have been attempting to pick up the Them storyline again, 18 years after the previous album's chronological conclusion, instead of concocting a fresh one from scratch, thus limiting Conspiracy's character development options somewhat, and inviting the inevitable comparisons to its clearly superior predecessor. Okay. Not that these issues were glaringly evident at Conspiracy's promising outset, following the carnivalesque, vignette, and epic 8-minute variety of opener At the Graves, with an instantly striking first single in Sleepless Nights. but holes in the overall fabric begin to appear as soon as the ensuing lies tries to chomp deeper into the meat of Conspiracy's story, which, in summary, sees the King Diamond character's questionable sanity exploited by his own mother and shrink, who are now wed and keen on swindling him out of his inherited house, still haunted by the spirits of both Grandma and them. Key plot advancing songs such as The Wedding Dream, Amon Belongs to Them, and Victimized are repeatedly encumbered by unnecessarily involved arrangements, their thematic flow lost in maze-like musical corners, so that by the time you arrive at the climactic cremation, it's Andy LaRocque's distinctive needlework guitar that stands out in your memory, not the fact that King's character is being burned alive. Okay. I was totally able to follow the whole story. So, but everyone's different, I guess. Clearly, Conspiracy's disappointing end result must be blamed upon its overwrought music, which overwhelms the words instead of supporting them. You know what? Where it comes to the words and where it comes to the clarity of the words, I totally got every single thing that they were giving us. After all, this chapter's storyline is really no more preposterous than the first. Still, for all its narrative flaws and inconsistent writing, some King Diamond fans insist on defending Conspiracy exactly because it isn't as explicitly spelled out as prior works, therefore leaving some of the work for their own imaginations. I guess that's what it is. Like I said at the very beginning of this, it's not for everybody. And you're going to have to rely upon a little bit of creative thinking and imagining to put the pieces together. So, you know, a different critic would probably say something different in regards to this. You know, if I'm a critic, what I'm saying is that it concludes the previous storylines very well, and it sets up yet another. And that's what you want, right? You want a continuing flow. So, but maybe I'm not as sharp and keen to pick up the differences between the two albums to say that, yes, I like this one better than this one was made way better than this one. I don't see or feel that the previous two were that much better than this one. But maybe it's been a while. I don't know. What do you think? And it's one of those acquired tastes. So the people who are fans of King Diamond, that question is directed towards you. You would probably have a much better read on, you know, when you're comparing the apples to the oranges. Are the previous albums superior to this one? By how much of a margin, that sort of thing. Because you know what? I enjoy this story as much as I did the previous ones. I enjoyed the whole idea of the picture in your mind, the overall concept of things, and how it flowed. I enjoyed the storyline, especially with the doctor and his mother cheating him out of his inheritance. It was brilliant to bury his remains under his sister's grave, you know. So it's a really interesting plot line, and I think it would unfold very well, like I said, in a movie or a book series or whatever the case may be. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. So let me know what you think, being a King Diamond fan. It's an acquired taste, so some people will get it and some people don't. I like to feel that I'm one of those that really gets it. Anyway, man, I enjoyed the hell out of it despite the review. So thanks very much for joining me. Thank you very much, Marco, for this. I appreciate it very much. So I've got Cole, a new patron I got to hit up. And right after that is Jennifer, Bayou, Greatly Blessed, Akachita, CSN. Forgive me again, guys. I'm still playing catch up, but I'm in the last leg of my holidays. So, or last leg of work before my holidays. So during that period of time, I'll catch up to every single thing before we get into the new year. I'll be totally caught up. So that's what we're looking at. That's what my plan is for this platform. Classic rock platform as well. I'll have enough time to just bang out the reactions back to back and catch up. Going into the new year, I'm going to make some changes. I'm not quite sure what. It could be a part of that decision process might result in me not doing reactions anymore. But I've got to figure out what my life is like going into the new year, the time, all of that sort of thing. And then I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. It might be scalping down a few things, but some changes are coming where it comes to my reaction process, how I do reactions, if I'm going to continue to do them at all. I'll let you guys know. All right. So, Marco, thanks again. You're the shit, brother. And I still hope to hit up your list that you gave me for Black Sabbath and Deep Purple. I haven't forgotten. Life has just gotten a lot more complex and busy since you sent me that list. But it's still there, and I still have it in your folder. All right. So, with that said, thanks again. Take care, everybody, and you will see me tomorrow first thing. You'll probably get 2 back-to-back reactions if I have it my way, if time allows. Both Coles and Jennifer. So I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.